Okay, I'm going to look at uh, dividing using the partial quotient method. So this is the one with like the big 7, as you can see. So we'll go step by step through this just for kind of a tutorial. So if you get stuck, you can watch this just to refresh your memory. Okay, so you have the 6,243 divided by 6. So I set it up um, like this, and there's like a big 7. So the first thing I ask myself is, can 6 go into 3? And the answer is no, because 3 is smaller than 6. So I ask myself, can 6 go into 32? Okay, and the answer is yes. I know 6 can go into 32, and in this case, if you don't know your facts, you can use a matrix. Um, but it's important that you get the correct fact going into it. So 6 goes into 32 5 times. So over here to the side, I'm just going to write 6 times 5 equals 30. Okay. Now I'm going to use my powers of 10. So I'm going to say 6 times 50. Okay. And again, I know 6 times 5 is 30. So I can write that down. And I know there's 1 0. So I'm going to add that 0 to it. So it's 300. So I'm going to go to another power of 10. 6 times 500. So you can see the pattern again with 5, then to 50, now to 500. And again, I do it the same way. 6 times 5 is 30. And there's 2 zeros here. So I'm going to write those 2 down. So I'm trying to get as close as I can to 3,243. And I'm at 3,000. So that's pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out 500 groups of 6. So over here, I'll write the number 500 because that's how many groups I pulled out, and all I have to do is refer back to when I was doing my facts down here. And I know 6 times 500 is 3,000. So I'll put that underneath here. And now I just subtract. Okay, 3 minus 0 is 3. 4 minus 0 is 4. 2 minus 0 is 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. Okay, so now I just start that process over again. So this time I'm looking at this number here. I ask myself, can 6 go into the number 2? The answer is no, because 2 is smaller than 6. So I ask myself, can 6 go into 24? The answer is yes. And I know that 6 can go into 24 4 times. So again, if you're not sure, use your matrix. So 6 times 4 equals 24. And again, I'm going to use my powers of 10. So now I'm going to go 6 times 40. And again, 6 times 4 is 24. And I add my 0 that's there. So again, it's 240. So if I go back up to the problem, I know I'm trying to get as close as I can to 243. 240 is really close. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out 40 groups of 6. So I'm going to pull out 40 groups here. And it's very important that you don't forget to write the number of groups on this side. Because at the end we're going to add, and if you forget to put them in there, your answer is going to be off. So I know 6 times 40 is 240. And again, I subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now I know I'm left with 3. And 3 is smaller than 6. So I know this is my remainder. So I'm just going to put remainder 3 there. So now my last step here is to add these 2 numbers up. Okay? And you can just tell by looking at it, 500 plus 40 equals 540. But say we have more numbers here. It's very important that when you add these together that you line them up properly. This would be the proper way to add 500 plus 40. Okay, I would get 5, 4, 0. Now, if you're kind of careless and you're not paying close attention, and you would do something like this and add them up, you're going to get 900, which is incorrect. So make sure when you're adding these up, I know this one's really easy. You can just look at the 2 and say it's 540. But if you need to, when you add them up, make sure you line your numbers up properly. It's very important. So you can see it's easy to get it's easy to make a mistake. So my answer is 540, and I have that remainder of 3. So at the top, my answer is 540, remainder 3. And this is the partial quotient method of division. Okay, again, just for you to refer back to if you ever get stuck, just as a quick refresher.